Picture this, it's 1919 and World War I has just ended. The world is gathering in the Palace of Versailles near Paris to decide the fate of Germany. This wasn't just any peace treaty. This was the Treaty of Versailles, and it would change the course of history in ways nobody could have imagined. Let me paint you a picture of what this treaty did to Germany. Imagine being forced to take all the blame for a fight that, honestly, everyone had a part in. That's exactly what Article 231, the famous war guilt clause, did to Germany. But that was just the beginning. The treaty stripped Germany of its military might, limiting their army to just 100,000 men, barely enough to defend their own borders. Their once proud navy, reduced to a handful of ships, no air force was allowed at all. It's like taking a boxer, tying one hand behind their back and expecting them to feel okay about it. But wait, it gets worse. Germany lost 13% of its territory, including resource-rich areas like Alsace-Lorraine. They lost all their overseas colonies. And here's the real kicker. They were slapped with massive war reparations, about 132 billion gold marks. In today's money, that's like trying to pay off several $1 trillion. Did the Germans think this was unfair? That's putting it mildly. Imagine being forced to sign a document at gunpoint. That's how many Germans felt. They weren't even allowed to negotiate the terms. They either signed or the Allies would invade. The German delegates who signed the treaty were later branded as the November criminals by their own people. This humiliation and harsh punishment led to something dangerous, a growing sense of resentment and nationalism in Germany. People were hungry, unemployment was sky high, and their national pride was in shambles. It created the perfect breeding ground for extreme political movements. And here's the tragic irony. This treaty, designed to keep peace, actually planted the seeds for an even bigger conflict. A young veteran named Adolf Hitler would later use this widespread anger and resentment to rise to power, promising to restore Germany's glory and tear up the shameful Treaty of Versailles. So when we look back at the Treaty of Versailles, we see more than just a peace agreement. We see a cautionary tale about how punishment without reconciliation and peace without justice can sometimes lead to even greater conflicts. The treaty that was meant to end the war to end all wars instead became a stepping stone to an even more devastating world war just 2 decades later.